guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to talk about um, options to control element selection. Okay, so I've been hearing a lot of problem why they are having a difficulty selecting their objects or elements in their project. So I'm going to help you to give solution to that. Okay, so without further ado, so for you to be able to select your elements, so we have several options to that which can be found here. So this is now the options to control the element selection. So as you can see here, so you have select links, select underlay elements. So you have select pinned elements, select elements by face, and then you have drag elements and selection. So aside from that, you can also access that here on the status bar. So you have here your select links, select underlay elements, select pinned elements, you have select elements by face, and drag elements on face. Okay, so it's user preference. So if you want to use it here from the panel, you can do that. Or if you want to use it here on your status bar, you can also do that. So personally, I just use my status bar here, so it's much more easier to select from here. The options to control the element or to select the element. All right, so the first option that we will be talking about here is select links. So this is the icon for select links. So as you can see, it is disabled. That's why you will notice, by the way, I have here an AutoCAD link file, and then I have here just simple walls I created. And then I also have here a Revit link model. Okay, so select links, this option, it enables the select links. When you enable that, the select links option, when you want to be able to select link files and individual elements in the links. Okay, so what are those links elements that I'm talking about? So link files can include the following: our Revit model, and then our CAD file, and then even if you have a point cloud that is linked inside your project, you can also control the selection of that by using this option, select links. Okay, so if this is disabled, as you can see, it's X, and if you go here, it's unchecked, right? So what will happen is you will not be able to select that. So by doing that, you will not be able to accidentally move or delete or drag away your link model to another location. Okay, so which is pretty useful. So usually when we set up our project, we set our link model to be the select links option to be disabled or unchecked. Okay, but if ever you want to just check the elements, so like for example, you want to check what type of door is this. So if you want to do that, so just make sure you select the select links here. Make sure you enable that by clicking this one. As you can see, the X already disappeared. That means it is enabled. And if you click here, it's already checked. So by doing that, you'll be able to select your link model like that. And if you want to select individual elements, you just hover your pointer like that, and then you just tab, and then there you go. So you're now able to highlight the door, and then you can click that. And if you check the property, you will not check what property of that door is. Okay, so like for example here, so tab, you click, and there you go. But if you do not want to touch or to move or accidentally delete your link model, it's better to disable your select links here or uncheck. Okay, just like that. Okay, so that's why there are some users, they are having a problem. Why is it I cannot select my link model? It's because of this option. Okay, so that's the answer to your question. Now, so after the select links, okay, so take note, just remember you can also apply this on your AutoCAD drawing. Okay, just like your AutoCAD drawing. See, I also cannot select my AutoCAD drawing. But if I'm going to enable this one, so I am now able to select that, and I can now query what layer of this one, for example. So I click that. So there's a query tool, and then I can click that one. So I'll be able to check out what layer is that, for example, or I can even hide that in the view or delete that. Okay? So your link model, AutoCAD link, Revit link or point cloud link, it's being controlled by the by this one. All right. Now the other option that we have here is the next option is select underlay elements. Okay, so as you can see here, I already created a wall here, a wall that starts from level 1 up to level 2. Now, if I'm going to move to level 2, this is my level 2. Okay, so my elements here, the walls here that I created from level 1 to level 2, it's now considered as an underlay. So that's why, again, if you're having a problem, why is it I cannot select the walls that I have created below on my level 2, for example? Well, it's because of this one. Okay, the select underlay elements is disabled. Okay, so you enable the select underlay elements option when you want to be able to select the elements contained in an underlay. So this one is considered an underlay. If the ability to select underlay elements interferes with your ability to select elements in the view, so you can disable this one. Okay, so you can disable this option. So when select underlay elements is disabled, you can still snap and align to elements in the underlay. Okay, so just remember that. Right, now for the next option here is we have, by the way, if I'm going to enable this, I'll be able to select the underlay elements. You see, that's what I'm talking about. So if this is disabled, you cannot select that. Okay. Now, the third option that we have here is select pinned elements. So you enable the select pinned elements option when you want to be able to select elements that are pinned in place and cannot be moved. Okay, so if the ability to select pinned elements interferes with your ability to select other elements in the view, so you disable this option. Okay, you disable that option. So for example, you may want to omit pinned elements from a crossing selection, so you can just disable that one so that it will not be selected like that. Oh, let me just pin the object. So just to show you, for example, this one, I'm going to pin that. There you go. So this one is pinned. So if I'm going to disable the pinned elements, so as you can see, I can only select those elements that is not pinned. So it's pretty useful if you do not want to move that pinned elements or accidentally uh, relocate that. All right. So it can also apply to your pinned link model or Revit model or CAD drawing. Okay, but why are you going to do that? So you just need to disable the link here, select links. But then again, if you want, you can try. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to pin that. Okay, so I'm going to disable the pin. So as you can see, I cannot also select that one. Even though select links here is enabled, if your select pinned elements here is disabled, you will not be able to select that if this is pinned link object or link elements. Okay, so that's the use of your select pinned elements. Now the next option here is select elements by face. Okay, like for example, if I go to the 3D view, okay, so for this one, all right. Okay, so there are some instances where what we want to do is we want to click the face to select this wall here. Okay, now the problem is sometimes we cannot do that. It's because of this option. Select elements by face. So you enable select elements by face option when you want to be able to select elements by clicking the interior faces instead of edges. Usually we click the edge, right? Just like that. But let's say we want to select the face. Okay, so you just enable that one. Just click that and then you can click now the face, right? You are now able to click the face instead of selecting the edges. Okay, okay, just like that. Whoa, why is it I can't? Oh, this one is pinned, sorry. So let me just click that and unpin that one. All right. Disable. Okay, see, I can now select the face. can select the face. I can select the face. Even on the elevation view, if I go to the elevation view, you see I can click the face. Okay, so if this is disabled, so you cannot select that. Okay, you cannot select. This is useful if you do not, if you want to use a crossing selection and then you do not want to select that element. Okay, so when enabled, this option, just remember, it applies to all model views and detail views. However, it does not apply when a view's visual style is wireframe. Okay, so if you are going to disable this, just like that one, you must click the element's edge to select that one, to select the element. Okay, now the last option here to control our element selection is drag elements on selection. Right, so let me just go back to my level 1. Okay, you enable the drag elements on selection so you can drag an element without selecting it first. Okay, just like this one, I'm going to enable this one, and then after that, I'm going to click this and then drag, just like that. You do not need to select that and then drag. Okay, so the moment you pick the object, just hold your left click, you will now be able to drag that. Okay, you click, hold your left click, and then you can drag. But if this is disabled, just like that, you see, if I click this and then hold my left click, I will not be able to drag. You see, right? I click, hold my left click, you see, I cannot drag it away. So I still need to click that first, and then after that, I can drag. But if this is enable, I just need to click once, hold the left click, and then you can drag like that. Okay, so to avoid accidentally moving an element when you select it, it would be better to disable this one. And remember, this option applies to elements in all model categories and annotation categories. All right, so these options apply to all views. They are not view specific. So if you enable your select links here, it will not only apply on your level 1, but it also applies to all views. They are not view specific. Remember, all of these options apply to all views. They are not view specific. Okay, so you can enable and disable these options at any time during the current session as needed. All right, so these options here, these options here. Okay, all right, so hopefully you learned something from this video about options to control element selection. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.